What happened tonight then, Nick?
It's possibly one of the worst performances I've seen Manchester City for a long time, really, especially under Pep Guardiola. They weren't at it, but you've got to give great credit, really. You have to Nathan Jones and his men. If they play like that in the league, which I'd imagine they won't do that, because that's why they're in a situation where they are. But if they manage to put performances together like that, they will get out of the situation where they are. They were brilliant tonight. Manchester City very sloppy. That energy wasn't there. Creativity, all key players not involved in the game at all. It's very difficult to single one person out, but never saw that coming at all. And it worries me a little bit with the Manchester derby coming. You can't just turn it on. You know, we tried to change it. All the big players were there. Changed it second half. Not an effort on goal. Don't think you'd say that since Guardiola's been here, that there's been a game of football without an effort on goal. So it is a shock.
We've had an effort on goal, plenty of them, but none on target.
Yeah, well, it's never been heard of with Manchester City. They create for fun. That's what they do. But it never looked right. They just never got a grip of it, and it was all about Southampton. If anything, you thought they may be going to get another goal, but you know, the manager has took a lot of criticism, and I understand it in the league, but I do like it when they get a bit of a lift and all of a sudden he goes off and he's got something to work with. We were talking before the game, talking about that the team, they're not playing for him, they're not playing for the manager. They did tonight. They turned up and they gave everything, and they were on the front foot and they were making it difficult for Manchester City. They never backed off at all. If they'd have done that, possibly Manchester City would have started playing and got into a bit of a routine. They never did that at all, and it was a big performance. So credit to Southampton, and we look to see what Manchester City are going to do about bouncing back against the Manchester United team, which is looking forward to the derby.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in just a moment, but what impressed you most about Southampton tonight, did you?
The energy, the organization. I think they were fearless. You know, sometimes they were pressing a lot. You know, you could see that on the first goal, even though it was a counter for City. And I think they took a lot of risk. You know, a lot of quality, a lot of talent. You know, you can see the first goal as well. And yes, it was a bit of everything. You know, I think. You know, City, they had a lot of doubts. You know, I don't think they expected that as well. You know, from Southampton. You know, that hunger, that dynamism as well. You know, look at that, the run, the recovery, everything was perfect. You know, it's not easy when it comes lateral like that ball just to hit it in the first post. But I think everything was good. You know, they didn't. You know, back up, you know, a lot, you know, the right back, okay, you know, I'm going to take the risk. Anticipation is wonderful. And then, you know, you know you're not far from the goal, and look the run, you know, beautiful. And I think as well, you know, the Nathan Jones was really good in the second half of it. You know, his changes, so it was a perfect game from Southampton, collectively, individually, the coach as well. Because they play five at the back, you know, so he knew that Man City would put all their force into the game, you know, so Pero came, three at the back, you know, Walker, Peters and Pero, so they were really good today.
When
what a goal.
Yeah, when you are playing a cup game against a side who are poor in form, do you take your foot off the gas, so to speak? Do you think you're already there before the match has started?
Well, I've never seen a Pep Guardiola squad do that. In every game they approach it in the right manner, and they do give respect for the opposition, but the quality of Manchester City is too much. In this game here now, was it that they played 3 days ago? Is that one to come out? But they just didn't look at it. They didn't. When you see Liverpool or Manchester City, and when they don't have that pace and that possession, it stands out. And today you couldn't just pick one player. It was the whole team. They were all over.
Even the substitutes.
All over the place.
De Bruyne?
Yeah, I mean, when he came on at the start, he did a couple of passes, but after that, he was sloppy. It was sloppy. We've never seen it like that. When you play against Manchester City, their strong point is keeping the ball, and eventually they drain you because of the possession what they've got. But they were giving it away. We saw for the first goal there straight away is Ward-Prowse gave it away, and then Gomez gave it away cheaply. And we haven't seen that before, so it was really sloppy. That's possibly the worst performance there since Guardiola's been there. Yeah. From the group of them, by the way, all of them.
When you have a really good opposition like Southampton was against Man City, sometimes you can see the weakness of a team. I'm talking about the young players, because they will have games. You know, it will be an experience. You know, when I talk about Palmer, about Gomez, you know, it's always the young players, the players not in form. You know, I didn't think that Phillips was really good just to put the team in the right way. You know, Grealish. You see all those players. You know, you can feel that they're not right, you know, and they put the team a little bit down, and that's what happened. And all of a sudden, you know, they all came out, yeah. You know, Palmer and Gomez and all, and Grealish after. So it was difficult today.
Let's go to St Mary's and get some reaction.
Congratulations, Gavin, James. What a night in front of the home fans as well. Just how special was that?
Yeah, special night. I think you know, these games are special to play in, especially when you're struggling in the league. And we knew this was a distraction for us. A great game to go and showcase what we're about. No fear, and I think we showed the true Southampton tonight. Yeah,
it's a huge statement performance from the team. But for you personally, Gavin, a clean sheet against your former club. What does that mean?
Yeah, it's massive. It's not just me, it's the whole team. You know, we've worked so hard since the new manager's come in on defending the box and being really hard to beat. You know, Prowsey says it all the time. We just need to be a hard team to play against. We need to, you know, work on defending, and then, you know, these results come and you have to just take them.
You've touched on it a little bit already, James, but what was it about tonight that clicked so much, where perhaps you've been lacking before? Where have you found a performance like that with the struggles you've been facing?
Yeah, I think it's always tough when we're in the position we are and the manager's come in. He's come in and been excellent. He's given us a fresh idea and a new energy, and I think it felt like the old Southampton tonight. We're on the front foot, and he wanted us to be bold and aggressive, and I think that's when we play our best football.
This is it. It wasn't just the front foot, though. You were able to restrict them so much at the back. From your perspective, Gavin, why was that?
I think that's because what we've been working on the last few weeks. You know, the players in front of me have been absolutely amazing. You know, they've really worked hard on defending the box and, you know, being a really difficult team to beat, and I think we showed that tonight.
In the second half, you were able to maintain that discipline. What was the message at half-time from the manager? Was it try to continue that balance in between aggression, but yeah, also keeping that discipline?
Yeah, I think we've been guilty of it in the past, of having a result at half-time and then dropping off and soaking up pressure, and eventually we buckled. But I think tonight we showed a different part of our game, and we knew they'd come out a different team in the second half with a few changes, but we stood up to it tonight and thoroughly deserved the win.
The question is now, how do you replicate this week in, week out, and not just in the Cup, but in the league as well?
Yeah, that's a challenge now. I think to put in a performance like that tonight means nothing if we go to the weekend and not get anything from Everton. And you know, it's a fantastic game for us to go in full of confidence now.
Does it feel like a very well-timed game that you go to Everton now with that little bit extra something?
Yeah, definitely coming off of the back of the last two results. I think we can take a lot of positivity and bring this momentum into the game on Saturday.
All right, well, you've got a few days until then, so in the meantime, enjoy it. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations to Southampton Carabao Cup. Is this a game, a turning point for Southampton?
You'd like to think so. I mean, you look at all the stadium and all the fans. They were against the manager, and they've gone off there tonight, and they've turned it, they've changed it. We asked the question at the start about cup football. You know, what does it actually do? Well, hopefully this does kick them on, but they'll have to go again like that. They'll have to play the same as that against an Everton side, and there's big highs from tonight. And all of a sudden you get back to business of the league, and, you know, and Everton would have watched that. They'll expect that in the next performance. So the next one is difficult for them, but they will get a lot of confidence out of that. They've obviously worked on something. It's great that they're talking about the manager, that he's brought new ideas in. Beforehand, you were talking the negative side, that this manager's not good enough, he's looking to get the opportunity. But the players, as I said before, they turned up for him, but the next game is vitally important. Great that they're having a cup run, but it's about survival in the Premier League. But that's got to do them a lot of good. There was big performances there, by the way. I mean, I spent half my life in the bottom of the league, and it is hard because you try everything on the training ground, and to go out against Manchester City and be as courageous as what you were, being on the front foot, winning tackles, stopping them from playing, got to take a lot out of that. It was a big performance.
I think there's two ways, you know, when you have a young team who's doing a game like that against City. Of course you can replicate it, but sometimes when you don't have the experience, there's lacking of consistency. You see teams when they've got great performance against big teams having not a good performance sometimes, you know. I know this is strange what I say, but you can have that kind of team, you know, who the game after they're still on their clouds, you know, they don't come down and don't put the efforts. The only good thing is they know that they have to do. They know they can do it. which we haven't seen that much, this season. But I hope, they're gonna have that team spirits and not stay, in that cloud, and not putting the effort. You can have that, with the young team sometimes.
Yeah. Forget the league. Nathan Jones has a 100% record in the Cup Series with Carrie Brown.
Nathan, talk me through what it's like to get a 2-goal lead and then conserve it against Pep Guardiola, Haaland and all his men.
I don't think we just conserved it. I think, to be fair, second half we went out and we were aggressive again, and we had a lot of situations where, all right, we could have extended it, but I thought we were excellent. We were aggressive from the front. We defended superbly well. We looked organised, defended our box well, and not many people could keep clean sheet against Man City, and we did, and that's something to be really proud of. But I thought the performance from start to finish was absolutely outstanding. We managed the game late on really well, and I'm just really proud of the group because they've taken some stick. I've had to take some, but we showed tonight that we can be a real good aggressive side.
Talking of that stick, you had home fans saying you don't know what you're doing. They're now singing "We're going to Wembley." Welcome to the top flight.
But from one week to the next, that's what football's like. But you just have to be consistent in your ideas, consistent in what you do, and then go from there. It's a categorical difference from a week ago. But we do the same work, play the same way, be aggressive, and we showed tonight that's one of the best performances Southampton have done in recent years, and it shows that we don't just know what we're doing, we're actually reasonably good at what we do.
On the front foot, we saw a real indication of that against Crystal Palace, and you built on that at the back four when you needed it, the back five when you didn't.
Yeah, we did. We were tactically really good today. We knew that they had solutions to change, and we changed and did certain things to combat that. And I thought we were excellent to a man. But we've been good in the last 4 or 5 games. We haven't conceded anything. Yeah, we've conceded silly goals against Fulham and mistakes against Fulham, mistakes against Forest. But in terms of the performance level, it's been there. The performance level has been there. And today we just got, with the last 2 games, we've really got the points to justify that.
And that was the frustrating thing, those silly errors, because they were really good performances. But let's look at the front as well. After a really good shutout, that Ginebro goal is going to be well up there for goals at the end of the season.
Oh, absolutely. And a great move, a real fluent and fluid move to get to that point. And the finish is wonderful. I thought the first goal was wonderfully executed as well. And look, we just showed what a side we can be. I mean, Man City are one of the best teams in the world, so let's not take anything away from them. But tonight we showed that we can compete at Premier League level if our levels are right where we should be, and we've shown that, and we've been wonderful today.
How hard have the last few weeks been with those results when you've had the performances but the mistakes have let you down? Because the pressure was ramping up. Everyone's saying the Everton game could be pivotal in the outside world. How hard was that, and how big is this?
Look, when you're a manager, you have to be able to handle pressure. I've been through pressured situations all throughout my life. I've had to work really hard to get here, so I'm not going to buckle now just because a few people are suggesting I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm not good enough to be here. I've worked too hard and for too long to get this opportunity to let people affect my decision making, how I go about my work and everything. And that's the way it is. So look, it's part and parcel of being a manager. It's definitely part and parcel of being a Premier League manager, because the spotlight is ridiculous.
And only one step to a final. What does that mean to you?
Well, I've never been to a Carabao Cup semi-final, so it's a wonderful place to be. The level of performance, what people were asking me tonight is, doesn't matter about the results, can you just have a level of performance to justify and stuff? Well, we've done more than that tonight, and we showed that look, this is what we're working on, this is how aggressive we can be if we want to, and look, I'm really proud of the group. That's the thing, I'm proud of my football club tonight. I'm proud of the people, I'm proud of my staff, the ones I've brought, the ones who are here. I'm proud of the players, how they respond, because we've had to go through some mire, and then when the leader is getting absolutely plenty, then to not buckle and to stand up and to put on performance like that shows that there's some real character here.
Thank you so much. Congrats.